The Air Defense Artillery traces its origins to 1917, when the American Expeditionary Force in France created an anti-aircraft service. During the interwar years, 5 anti-aircraft regiments formed part of the U.S. Coast Artillery Corps. The Second World War saw a massive expansion of air defense, with 781 battalions authorized, as well as the creation of an independent anti-aircraft command. In the years following the war, the U.S. Army Air Defense Command was created, and the Air Defense Artillery was formally established as an independent combat arm in 1968. Known as the Emperor of Battle, today's Air Defense Artillery is an integral part of the Army and operates some of the most technically sophisticated air defense systems in the world. Air and missile defenders protect ground forces from enemy aircraft, as well as indirect fires. They also help establish American air supremacy during combat operations and protect critical geopolitical assets in the United States and abroad. Junior air defense officers can expect to spend most of their time in the Army's operating force, honing their small unit leadership and staff expertise. This is an invaluable training and educational experience that helps them to understand the larger Army that they serve. As they approach mid-career, Air Defense Artillery officers are afforded opportunities to pursue graduate education and develop expertise suiting them for leadership in either operating force or generating force assignments, training and educating soldiers and leaders across the Army, as well as collaborating and training with other military services and America's allies. Air Defense Artillery officers possess a special blend of skills, knowledge, and behaviors. Their unique talents help them to succeed in any mission.
Inspirational leader.
Air Defense Artillery officers are expert at getting soldiers to work harmoniously towards desired outcomes.
It's important to understand and be able to influence your organization. It's important to understand the significance and the impact that you have as a leader on your soldiers.
As far as officer-enlisted relationships, as a lieutenant, at the battery level, you work hand-in-hand with either an E5 or E4.
The Army is about people. It's about soldiers. And it's about motivating and inspiring them.
If you can't do that, then it makes it more difficult for your unit to accomplish the mission.
Logical, analytical.
Air Defense Artillery officers routinely disaggregate and solve complex problems. Thinking in terms of cause and effect, they logically develop effective solutions to any challenge.
I think it comes down to second and third order effects.
If you're not able to see a complex problem and break it down in terms of this was the altitude at the apogee of the round, this was the velocity, this was the point of origin, the point of impact, the total distance.
It's literally rocket science.
If you're not able to see it in those individual parts and put it all together,
and you have to be able to do it quickly,
then you could make the wrong decision, which could have devastating effects.
Cross-culturally fluent.
Air Defense Artillery officers comfortably operate across different cultural settings. Working alongside America's other services and allied partners, they use this talent to support the national military strategy.
You as an air defender will work in the most joint environments, the most combined environments, the most coalition environments.
We did a lot of joint exercises, for instance, with the Emirati Air Force, Jordanians, the French.
When I was a battalion commander, training Patriot, we trained 10 different countries.
Japanese, Koreans, Israelis. This immersion into the international culture and into international armies and air forces is another thing that's very unique about the air defense experience.
Multitasker.
Constantly faced with simultaneous challenges, Air Defense Artillery officers effectively prioritize and respond to multiple demands.
I think our branch is focused on the ability to multitask because of the complexity of our mission.
When you look at it operationally, you're going to be balancing the demands of providing air defense along with the demands of leading an organization.
You can have multiple tracks on your screen.
You're worried about your radars, you're worried about your launchers, you're worried about your defense plan.
You have to deconflict neutral aircraft from hostile aircraft, from friendly aircraft.
Air and missile defense officer decisions are going to be made very quickly, and they're going to be made with lots of information coming in at the same time.
Communicator.
Air Defense Artillery officers are precise, efficient, and compelling communicators, whether providing advice to commanders or directing fire missions.
An air defender has to be a good communicator.
You have to be precise.
You're going to be speaking to your soldiers, and you want to put it in a context that makes sense to them.
What can you say in 30 seconds that will get your intent and your message across to the people who really need to know it?
The ability to communicate effectively it's an absolute. You have to have it as an air and missile defender.
I went to school at the United States Military Academy.
Eastern Kentucky University, ROTC.
I was commissioned through West Point.
I majored in law and legal studies.
Human regional geography.
Operations research with the systems engineering track.
Both French and Russian.
The air defense is different than other branches.
It was one of the few combat arms that was open to me.
A woman can do the same job as their male counterpart, no matter what rank.
It's a small branch, so it's a community, and it's a family atmosphere.
This is not about me. This is about us.
It was the soldiers that really appealed to me.
I thought it was relevant with what's going on in the world now with the proliferation of missiles and missile technology, rockets and mortars.
The manner by which we fight is far different from the manner by which any other branch fights.
We deploy, train, and fight with our brothers and sisters in the United States Air Force, and the United States Navy, and the United States Marine Corps, right from the very beginning.
Tactical ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, anti-radiation missiles.
Counter-rocket artillery and mortar.
We operate in a joint environment 100% of the time.
None of the 15 branches can do something like that.
The great thing about the branch is they're willing to fit into the fight right now in whatever way that they can.
I think what excites me the most about the branch is seeing the newest members of the branch coming in.
We expect a lot out of our lieutenants in the air defense.
If you want to be an air defense officer, you got to love a challenge.
It's up to you to be physically fit, to be tactically proficient, and to lead in a Army manner.
We look for somebody with initiative, with the ability to learn.
You have to be ready all the time. What do you like? Are you interested in technology?
What is it that defines, success for you?
Are you an individual who likes real adventure?
What is it that's going to make you happy?
I love the branch. I have since the day I chose it.
You might want to consider the Air Defense Artillery.
First to fire.